Rachel. My husband and I moved to the UK, but when we got there, he dropped a shocker on me. I got married to my husband, Toby, on a beautiful Saturday morning. We met while attending a youth program. He was good looking and was doing okay for himself, so I decided why not. We had a very simple wedding with limited guests, and everyone went home after that. After about 6 months, told Toby about his plans to move to London to get a job. I didn't like the idea, especially because he didn't tell me anything before we got married, but I didn't have a choice than to agree. We had to work overtime to save enough money for us to go abroad. Toby worked in a law firm, but his salary was only 350,000 naira. He didn't do much, especially because of the situation of the country, but we're managing just fine. I also just started my tailoring business, which was booming rapidly because of how good I was with fabrics. I used to be a fantastic tailor, but I suffered from paralysis and numbness in my fingers, and now I was properly healed and ready to continue. Although I was properly healed, I had lost some of my skills, but that's okay. As I continued sewing, I kept improving and I knew that in no time, I'll be making a lot of money. It sucks to know all of this would be cut short to start a new life abroad, but I couldn't complain, so I continued working hard. But I decided to have a conversation with Toby first. Toby, why exactly do you want to go to the UK right now? We're doing all right here in Nigeria, I said. We are going to be earning in pounds. Isn't that better? My friend told me that he can help me with a job over there. All I need to do is gather some money, he said. I don't think it's a good idea. My tailoring business is booming. I have a lot of big customers now, and I charge 10,000 for simple designs. From my calculations, I can make up to 115 designs, and I'm also learning to sew bridal outfits, and in no time, I'll grow bigger and charge up to 300,000 for a dress. Rather than Owambe outfits, is in it all money, I said to him. You're being very selfish right now, Toby said to me. I was surprised that he would make such a statement. What do you mean? I asked him. I am the provider of the house. How do you expect me to be satisfied with 350,000 as a salary? What matters is what I earn, because I'm taking up most of the finances in this house, he said to me. And who says that I won't support? I asked him. He's supporting me. But at the end of the day, I need to be making more. We are traveling abroad and that's final, he said to me. I was frustrated, but I didn't press further. I started learning how to make bridal outfits, and because I'm a fast learner, we were able to gather enough after we had able to put our savings together, but we rejected a visa. Toby was mad and angry, and I narrowly escaped being hit from his angry outburst. We talked to his friend again, and he suggested we came through the student route. Now, Toby was kind of dull when it came to books. He sorted a lot of lecturers in the university, so I knew we couldn't depend on him. At night, he came to my room and sat beside me. Reading isn't really my thing, he started. I knew where this was going, but I listened to him quietly. I was thinking maybe you could do the schooling. It's perfect. I get to work while you study. You're the only option I have, so you can't afford to say no, he said. So I don't have an opinion, or what are you trying to say? I asked him. No. What I mean is, I know you've always been against this from the beginning, so I know your answer will be no. But it's really important that we do this. The country is crazy right now, and we need to secure our children's lives. Don't you want better for them? He asked me. I do, I sighed. So what do you say? He stared deeply into my soul. Fine, but I'll be the one enrolling in a fashion school. Yes, he screamed in joy and lifted me up. I've never seen Toby so happy since I knew him, and I'm so glad to be able to put a smile on his face. I registered for fashion school online and got accepted. Our visas were processed and we traveled to London. These were really expensive, but Toby was confident that he would make enough to cover the bills. I started classes immediately, and I began to learn a lot of techniques about sewing. I had the foundation, so blending in was easy. I made a friend, Vidya from India, and also Teho from Korea. They were my class buddies, and we always hung out during lunch breaks. I also learned a lot about their culture, as well as their sewing techniques. The man that promised Toby a job began to give stories, but he assured him of another job. At last, he was able to get something, but it was a caregiver job. Toby was mad, and his ego was bruised, but we had bills to pay. He also worked at a restaurant, and he always came home complaining of how annoying his patient was. He became angry and bitter towards me, but I did my best to avoid him and focus on my studies. We began to grow further apart, as he was always working different shifts, and I hardly saw him. One day, Toby came home and suggested that I work. He said to me, you should also help with the finances. Paying the bills alone is hard, and I can't do it alone. This is why we shouldn't have come here. We have no savings here and we spend all we have on bills. I said to him, "Are you trying to blame me?" He asked me angrily. "Well, it's your fault, isn't it? You didn't plan things properly before going." I said to him, "You're not a supportive wife." He yelled at me. "I've been supportive so far. See where he led us." I said to him, "Toby had a lot of ego, but he always feels he's right and doesn't listen to me. I let him be to see how things play out, but he ends up blaming me. I'll get a job," I said to him. "I'll check online and see what I can find," I said. I began to job hunt, and I was very lucky to find a job as a tailor to a big fashion brand. I passed the interview and began to work immediately. The pay was good, and I was glad to secure such a job. I learned about customer demand and target audience, and I hope that someday I'll open my own fashion store after getting a legal permit. I continued work and school, but I noticed that Toby had grown more distant. I tried to talk to him about it, but he shoved it off as being too busy with work. I didn't like it, but I didn't have any choice than to leave him alone, because he complained I was starting to nag. Soon, it was the festive season. I was glad to celebrate my first Christmas in London. I invited Vidya and Teho for Christmas. They were both away from their families in another country, so I thought it was a good gesture. Toby also invited two of his friends, and we sat down to eat. I noticed that Toby took a great dislike to Teho. It seemed like he was feeling insecure, but I tried not to overthink it. Teho was like a guy in the K-drama, sweet and attentive, and Toby felt inferior. Teho was tall and really good looking, like a model from a magazine. Toby was short with a big stomach, and so he immediately felt intimidated. Teho was nice enough to bring a Christmas present, which was a sewing kit I've always been raving about. I was so excited that I jumped for joy and told him a big thank you. Toby wasn't having it, and he couldn't hide it any longer from the angry look on his face. He didn't pay attention to my needs, and not once did he buy me a present. It was a nice surprise from Teho, and I was very grateful. Vidya also brought a gift, which was an alcoholic wine. I gave my gift to my husband and waited for mine, but he didn't have any. "Rachel, we're Africans raised in an African home. We know we don't do Christmas gifts," he said to me. I was very disappointed, but I put up a smiley face in front of everyone. As soon as the party was over, everyone left and Toby turned to me angrily. "Why did I bother to give you such a fancy present?" "'Cause it's Christmas. Teho is a very nice and thoughtful person," I answered. "Is that so? Looks like you know a lot about Teho." "Come on," I scoffed. "We're always together in school. He and Vidya are my best friends in school." "Cut ties with him," Toby said to me. "A married woman shouldn't be keeping friends with men." "We are classmates. I'm going to see him all the time." I said. "I have warned you," Toby said and left me alone. I wonder why he was overreacting, but I didn't bother. After the new year, Toby gave me a shocking news that I won't forget in a long time.